Dragapult EX and Gardevoir EX are two of the most powerful decks in the Journey Together format. Today, John and I will be using the top two deck lists from the recent Champion League Miyagi in Japan. I'll start off with the Mew EX in the active. I'm going to play Earthen Vessel, discarding a Psychic Energy to get a Psychic and Dark Energy. With Gardevoir, I want to get Psychic Energy in the discard pile to be able to use later with the Gardevoir EX ability. I bench a Monkey Dory and attach the Dark Energy and pass. The Monkey Dory's ability will help a lot in this matchup, allowing you to move back the damage counters applied by Phantom Dive from the Dragapult EX. John's going to start off with Arven getting a Buddy Buddy Poffin and a TM Evolution. He plays the Buddy Buddy Poffin to get 2 Dreepies. His Tatsugiri in the active has the Attract Customers ability, which is going to let him look at the top 6 cards of his deck and add a supporter to his hand from there. He's going to check his hand before deciding on what supporter to get, and he gets Arven for next turn. He benches a Dusknoir. Then we're going to look at his hand and see if there's anything else he can do before passing the turn. On my turn, I attach a Psychic Energy to the Monkey Dory and then play Iono to reset our hands. This is going to get me a Buddy Buddy Poffin that's going to allow me to get Ralts into play finally. I get 2 Ralts. Mew EX has free retreat, so I'm going to be able to go into Monkey Dory and use Mind Bend for 60 damage and to confuse the Tatsugiri. On John's turn, he's going to bench Pheasantipity and then evolve into Dracloak and use its Recon Directive ability, looking the top 2 cards of his deck and keeping 1. He then plays Iono to reset both of our hands. We'll both draw 6 cards since we haven't taken any prizes yet. He then uses the Attract Customers ability of the Tatsugiri to look at the top 6 cards of his deck looking for a supporter. He doesn't find a supporter, so we're just going to shuffle the deck back. He plays Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards to be able to find another Dracloak to evolve his bench Dreepy. He's going to use his Recon Directive ability to look at the top 2 cards and put 1 back on the bottom of the deck. He then is going to pass the turn back to me. I evolve one of the Ralts into a Curlia, and then play Ultra Ball. I'm going to discard 2 cards to be able to search out Gardevoir EX, and go Rare Candy Gardevoir. I'm going to be able to use the Gardevoir's ability to attach Psychic Energy from the discard pile. I attach a Dark Energy from hand to the Gardevoir, before playing Professor's Research, discarding my entire hand to draw 7 new cards. I then retreat the Monkey Dory by discarding the Psychic Energy, and use Psychic Embrace, putting 40 damage on the Gardevoir EX to attach 2 Psychic. I then use the Monkey Dory ability to knock out the Tatsugiri by moving 10 damage. I'm then going to be able to attack with the Gardevoir, knocking out the Dracloak and taking another prize card. On John's turn, he gets into Dragapult and attaches a Psychic Energy and Sparkling Crystal. This will allow the Dragapult to attack this turn. He's going to play Arven, looking for an item and a tool card. He's going to get Counter Catcher and Rescue Board. He then is going to use the Counter Catcher to bring up the Mew EX. This will be an easy knockout for Phantom Dive that does 200 damage and puts 6 damage counters on the bench. He knocks out the Mew EX and he ends up putting all the damage counters on the Gardevoir EX. I'm going to start my turn with us both at 4 prizes. I'm going to use the Artisan and I'm going to find a Monkey Dory with it. I don't have a Dark Energy to put on it, so I won't be able to use its ability this turn. I am able to use the other Monkey Dory to be able to take a prize card by knocking out the Badoo and cleaning up some damage on my Gardevoir EX. I'm then going to play Night Stretcher to get Mew EX back. Even though I don't like putting Mew EX into play against Dragapult because of its low HP, I'm going to retreat into it, discarding the 2 Psychic Energies so that I can then use Psychic Embrace to get them back onto the Mew EX. I can then attach a Psychic Energy from hand so that the Mew EX can attack, which will allow it to copy the Phantom Dive attack of John's Dragapult EX. But I'm looking for one more piece. I'm going to play Iono and find 3 cards. And with that, I find the Nest Ball, which is going to give me what I need to win the game. I'm going to use it to get Lily's Clefairy EX, which is going to make John's Dragapult weak to Psychic Pokemon like Mew EX. Then using its Phantom Dive, I'm able to knock out the Dragapult EX and the Dusknoir to take my last 3 prizes. Game 2, John's going to make me go first, and I'm going to start with Badoo in the active and play Earthen Vessel, discarding a Psychic Energy and getting 2 more Psychic Energy to my hand. I then don't have any more bench Pokemon, so I'm forced to pass the turn. John's going to bench a Pheasantipity EX and then play Arven as his supporter for turn. He's going to take a little time checking the deck to see what he wants to do. He gets Buddy Buddy Poffin as his item. He has a lot of evolution Pokemon in his hand, so it'll help to get some basics into play. He then uses the Buddy Buddy Poffin to get Duskull and Dreepy, and passes the turn. On my turn, I play Professor's Research, discarding my entire hand to draw 7 cards. I play Earthen Vessel, discarding Squawkabilly, which isn't going to be useful since its ability can only be used on the first turn of the game. I get a Psychic and a Dark Energy, and then play 2 Nest Balls. Finally going to be able to get some Ralts into play. And with that, I'm just going to use Itchy Pollen to do 10 damage and item lock John. On his turn, he evolves into a Dracloak, 2 Dracloaks, and then uses the Recon Directive ability to look at the top 2 cards of his deck. He's going to end up keeping Duskull in this situation since he doesn't really need the switch and can't use items this turn anyways. He then uses the next Recon Directive. He plays Artisan, and he's going to use it to be able to find another basic after benching the Duskull. He gets another Dreepy. He evolves into Dusclops and uses its Curse Blast ability to knock out the Badoo, and will both take a prize card. He then attaches a Psychic Energy to the Dracloak and passes turn. I bench Monkey Dory and attach Dark Energy and then evolve into Curly on the benched Ralts. I use Artisan to find another Ralts. I end up changing my mind and going with Monkey Dory instead. I then play Professor's Research, discarding my hand to draw 7 cards. I'm going to bench Pheasantipity here, which can use its Flip the Script since John used the Curse Blast ability to knock out my Badoo last turn. And I pass the turn. John's going to keep taking advantage of the Recon Directive ability to keep finding more cards. He's going to think here before finally evolving into a Dragapult EX. He doesn't have the other energy yet. He's going to play Iono and reset both our hands down to 5 cards. With that, he finds the Sparkling Crystal to be able to get the Dragapult able to attack. He benches a Blood Moon Ursaluna and uses the Phantom Dive to knock out the Ralts and put 10 damage on the Pheasantipity and 50 on Curlia. On my turn, I play Ultra Ball to be able to find Gardevoir EX and evolve the active Curlia that had 50 damage. I then use Flip the Script to draw 3 cards since John knocked out the Ralts last turn. I use Psychic Embrace, putting 40 damage on the Gardevoir to attach 2 energy to retreat it into the Mew EX. I then use Morty's Conviction, discarding 1 card to draw 5 cards since John has 5 bench Pokemon. I put Bravery Charm onto the Pheasantipity EX. I'm then going to put 3 energy on the Mew EX to be able to use it to attack. I use Monkey Dory to move 30 damage off of it onto the Pheasantipity. And then I bench the Clefairy, and I'm going to be able to knock out the Dragapult again like I did in game 1. I play Secret Box, discarding 3 cards to be able to search a supporter, item, tool, and stadium, getting Bravery Charm, Artisan, Iono, and Night Stretcher. I put a Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory to be able to move more damage to the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and then I put a Bravery Charm onto the Mew EX. I'm going to knock out Dragapult and Duskull with the Mew EX, and John's going to promote the Blood Moon Ursaluna. On his turn, he's going to try to find a good way to counteract this situation. He's going to take a little time before announcing Blood Moon and knocking out my Mew EX before realizing I'll be able to win the game on the next turn with the double Monkey Dory.